Hello dear students, I am Karuna Mishra and I will be taking your classes for Environment and Ecology at UPSC Guide. Now before starting your journey, you should have some idea about what to expect from the subject. How many questions are asked from the subject, how many marks are included, how much is the weightage of that subject, what should be the approach for studying that, is there a different approach for prelims, is there a different approach for etc. Now when it comes to environment and ecology, a subject which has recently gained so much importance. Now, the number of questions in UPSC prelims, especially, have increased so much from environment that there was a time that the number of questions from environment alone were more than 22 plus. And on any average year, when it comes to prelims, you will always get at least 15 questions from this particular subject, which otherwise is very small compared to the subjects such as history, geography, polity, economy, etc. Now, why has this happened? Two reasons. Earlier, the prelims for Indian Forest Services used to be separate from the prelims of UPSC Civil Services. So, since the prelims have now merged, even for forest services and civil services, so the number of questions from the environment have increased. Second, in the recent years, environment and India's role in different programs, which are, for example, International Solar Mission, then National Hydrogen Mission, then Mission for bringing down methane, etc. So, India's involvement has been so high, and climate change as a topic in general has become so important, not just for the examination but for our survival, that you see these questions in the paper as well. So, when it comes to prelims, you can find the number of questions somewhere in the range of 15 questions up to 22 questions. When it comes to the UPSC mains, in the UPSC mains, environment is part of GS paper 3. In GS paper 3, you get up to 6 questions from the environment topic along with disaster management. So, environment and ecology and disaster management together can have 6 questions. Sometimes there were even 7 questions, but mostly it is 5 to 6 questions. 6 questions, which will be a combination of 15 marker and 10 marker, will give you any day more than 60 marks. It will be higher, never lower than that. So, even if all the questions are 10 markers, then at least 60 marks. If 4 questions are 10 marker and 2 questions are 15 marker, then in that case it will go to 70. If there is 50, 3 questions are 15 marker, 3 questions are 10 marker, then also the number will increase. So it will always be more than 60 marks, can be up to 90 marks as well. But always remember, this is a very high weightage when it comes to mains. So this is the number of marks that this subject shall get you. Now coming to what are the different parts of this subject. In this different subject, you have one, the basics of ecology. In the basics of ecology, we will be talking about ecosystems, types of ecosystems, biotic, abiotic factors, nutrient cycle, how the different species are designated, what are wetlands, biomes, etc. That shall be part of the basics of ecology. Next is the pollution. Now, this topic will be very, very crucial for both your prelims and mains. In pollution, you will have air pollution, water pollution, land degradation, plastic pollution, e-waste, solid waste management, air pollution, rules. Then after we have done this in pollution, again you have to divide it at the global scale and the national scale. After this, we shall have the issues of legislation. Now, what is this? Laws and legislations. Legislations, protocols, summits, as I like to call it in the class, कर क्या रहे हैं हम? ठीक है, एनवायरनमेंट खराब हो रहा है, ठीक है, पोल्यूशन बढ़ रहा है, उसके लिए हम क्या कर रहे हैं? So this is that part of the syllabus. What are we doing in order to protect the environment? For example, what are the Indian laws? What are the international laws? What is Paris deal? What is Kyoto protocol? What are the different ways by which India is combating the climate change and associated global warming, which is the result of pollution and different anthropogenic activity. Now this is where you will have international legislations, laws, protocols, etc. Next you have, after this, if we understand species based questions or the biodiversity. Now, what do you understand by the species based or biodiversity related question? For example, there were questions on elephant, there were questions on different variety of birds, migratory birds, etc. So, species based questions, for example, Project Lion, Project Tiger, important Gucci mushroom was asked in the paper. So, all of that will be part of species. Then you have the environmental impact assessment. Now this was specially added after the Bhopal gas tragedy. That is, if any project is implemented in India, what is India's way of first assessing and then giving approval for that project based on how much environmental damage it can do. So this is another part of the syllabus. We shall be covering all of this along with the current affairs in your classes. Now when it comes to where to read from, the basic reading, I would want you to go through the NCERT books, books of science, books of geography, have basic concepts of environment, but dedicated unit for environment is provided in 12th standard biology NCERT last unit. So the last unit of 12th standard biology NCERT has a dedicated, material, is a dedicated chapter for the environment. There is a chapter for ecology, there is a chapter for biodiversity, and within those chapters only you also have the legislations and laws created by government. So this is the basic reading that is required of you. Next, keep an eye on current affairs. In this particular subject's current affairs are a make or break. Without good understanding of current affairs, without knowing what is happening around with summits, what is India's participation, what is India's stance, even the interior part of the protocols, Kyoto, Paris agreements have been asked in the paper. So now I don't want you to feel confused with respect to this subject, because environment is a topic that is generally not present as part of the degree program. So this is subject which shall be new to you when you will be preparing, but be assured we will make sure that not only it is an interesting subject, you don't have to mug it up, and you will score well in the prelims as well as in mains. All right, so this was it from my side. I think I gave you some brief idea about the subject. Meet you in the class soon. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.